Hi, Year 2. Welcome to Friday's final guided reading lesson of the week. You are all doing brilliantly well. I mean, we've been so impressed with some of the work coming up on Seesaw. Very impressed yesterday with your ability to go back to the text and find the answer with those literal questions. Today, we're looking at those I always call it those slightly trickier inference questions. But all we need to do is really think what the text is telling us, okay? Because authors choose certain phrases or certain words to give the reader that information to set the scene and let us know more about what's going on. Let's go into the lesson and kind of see what I mean. So let's start by sharing my screen. So hopefully now you can see my screen, and we're using the text Riding the Waves. Riding the Waves, written by Anthony McGowan. Okay. Quick recap of our vocabulary of the week. What do I mean by grinned? Please tell me through the computer what I mean by grinned. Well done. A wide smile. You can see maybe at the bottom of your screen, Mr. Wernick grinning through the computer. I have a slightly strange grin. Remember that word strange we learnt recently? There we are. There's my grin. What do I mean by grumbled? Grumbled. What am I? If someone's grumbling about something, what are they doing? They are. Well done. Complaining. You're always grumbling, Mr. Wernick, about the weather. You're always grumbling. You're always complaining that it rains too much. You always grumble. Okay. So grumbling just means complaining. All right. You might all be grumbling right now about Mr. Wernick's teaching, but please just let me know through an email, okay? Don't grumble, let me know. Anyway, third word is campsite. What do I mean by campsite? A place used for camping. Well done. It's just a place used for camping. You might set up a campsite. If you're really in the wilderness, you might have to make a campsite with a fire, a tent, different things. Or you might go and visit a campsite. Kind of a pre-made one. What do I mean by the word jealous? Who can describe jealous and tell me through the computer? I'm listening. I'm listening. Some wonderful answers there. Very impressive, our ability to tell me what jealous means. Jealous just means wanting what someone else has. Okay, you might be jealous of someone's success. You might be jealous of someone's new haircut because you want the same haircut. Okay. So jealous just means wanting what someone else has. But it's not, I would say it's not a good thing to be jealous, because you must always remember what you have. But it is a natural emotion. We all feel a little bit jealous at some times in our life, okay? But try not to be jealous is what I would say. And what do I mean by collapsed? Mr. Wernick collapsed on his floor after winning the big race. What did I do on the floor? Well done, everyone. I fell down. It means to fall down. It's a verb. To collapse means to fall down. It's a synonym, okay? Different words, same meaning. Really important when we do our writing, we use a range of vocabulary. So if you're writing about someone falling down the stairs, you could now say they collapsed down the stairs. All right, really important. We use a range of words and we have a wide lexicon, a range of words. So what we're going to do now is play Jump In. Let me stop sharing my screen. And hopefully you can now see the book. There we go. So we're now going to play Jump In, and I'll do the thing where I make it a little bit bigger. To help some of you. There we are. And once again, as always, I apologise for me not being the greatest at keeping the book straight. So I will try my hardest. Chapter 1, we're off. Right, everyone, in you get, said Dad, opening the car door. Seatbelts on, said Mum. Tiger and his family were going to the seaside for a week. Tiger had been doing well at school, so he was allowed to bring one friend. It was a hard choice, but in the end he picked Max. Guess what, said Tiger. We'll be camping. Excellent, grinned Max. What I'd like you to do now, pause them, jump in. We're going to play a little bit of Control the Game. I would like everyone, though, to read me this page here. Well done. If you need a bit more time, do pause the video. It was a long drive to the seaside. Toby and Tiger argued all the way. They argued about what music to listen to. They argued about what games to play. They argued about whose turn it was to read the comic. And you can see them arguing here. I wonder how Dad's feeling of all this argument. Finally, they reached the campsite. Where's the sea? Asked Toby. Not far, smiled Mum. There's a nice walk to the beach. Let's put the tents up and then go and have a look. The exercise will do us all good after that long drive, said Dad. It took them ages to put up the tents. Toby had to share a big tent with his mum and dad. Max and Tiger had a tent to themselves. Toby was jealous that Max and Tiger had their own tent. He pulled their tent pegs out and the tent collapsed. Max and Tiger put up their tent again. Hurry up, you two, said Dad. We'll see you down at the beach, said Mum. Just follow the path. You can't get lost. Toby is so annoying, grumbled Tiger. Max pulled out something from deep down in his rucksack. This might cheer you up, he said. Brilliant, you brought the micro buggy, exclaimed Tiger. Let's take a ride. There we go. And that is jumping for today. And so hopefully some brilliant reading. I asked you to read that page. So try and mix it up a little bit with how we're doing reading. So hopefully you can all read the page there. There were some difficult words. So if it was a challenge, don't get panicked, don't get upset. Learning in any subject is about progression, okay? And I promise you will all get there. All right, Mr. Wernick promise. Right, here we go. Let me start sharing my screen again. So we have played Jump In and you did that brilliantly. So well done, everyone. What we're going to be doing today are those inference questions that I know a lot of you find slightly harder, and I think naturally so. I think in year 2, inference is quite tricky, but as we get older, we keep practicing, hopefully it'll become that little bit easier and we start training our brains on how to answer them. So let me show you an example. Let me share my steps to success to begin with. Like the literal questions, I'm going to read the question twice. I'm going to underline keywords. I'm going to find evidence and or think. Sometimes I might just need to think and give a sensible answer, but the question will tell me what to do. And then 4, reread the question. Have you answered it? Is your answer sensible? Okay, let's have a look at this question here. Why do you think Max may be Tiger's best friend? Why do you think Max may be Tiger's best friend? I think that maybe should be one word. Anyway, so why do you think Max might be Tiger's best friend? So I've read it twice. So it's why do, I think the keyword is you think. Why do you think Max may be Tiger's best friend? Let's go back to the text. Right, everyone, in you get, said Dad, opening the car door. Seatbelts on, said Mum. Tiger and his family were going to the seaside for a week. Doesn't really tell me why I think Max might be Tiger's best friend. Tiger had been doing well at school, so he was allowed to bring one friend. It was a hard choice, but in the end, he picked Max. in the end, he picked Max. He was allowed one friend and he picked Max. If you're allowed one friend, do you think you pick your best friend? I think so. So why do you think Max may be Tiger's best friend? I think it's because he is his best friend. Yeah, I think you're right. He is his best friend because Tiger was only allowed one friend. He was only allowed one friend and he picked Max. That's the perfect answer as to why. Okay, but let me check that last step. Reread the question. Have you answered it? Why do you think Max may be Tiger's best friend? He is best friend. He is his best friend. That's why you read your work through year 2. He is his best friend because Tiger was only allowed one friend and he picked Max. Okay, so why do you think Max might be Tiger's best friend? Because he's only allowed one and he picked Max. It doesn't tell me it's true, but that's why I think that is the answer. Next example. How do we know Max was happy about camping? How do we know Max was happy about camping? So we need to read the question twice, which I've now done. Underline the key word. So how do we know Max was happy? What was he happy about? Camping. So how do we know Max was happy about camping? Guess what, said Tiger. We'll be camping. Excellent, grinned Max. So he's found out he's going camping and he said, excellent, grinned Max. I think there's actually 2 ways here. How do we know? It doesn't explicitly go, Max was very happy about hearing he was going camping. It doesn't tell us he was happy, but we can infer he is happy from the word excellent or the word grinned. So we know Max was happy because he said excellent when he heard he was going camping. When he heard he was going camping. So how do we know Max was happy about camping? We know Max was happy because he said excellent when he heard he was going camping. Or you could have said we know he was happy because he grinned. And we know grinning means a wide smile. So sometimes you'll have to use your own opinion. Sometimes you'll have to infer the answer from one word. So here, how do we know Max was happy about camping? It doesn't tell me Max was happy, but I have worked it out from the fact he said excellent and he also grinned when he heard he was going camping. What you need to do now is answer these 5 tricky questions, and they are difficult, year 2. It's okay to find these challenging. Okay, if you can only try and answer 5, but if you get stuck after about 3 and you've been going for a while, have a break. You can stop, okay? It's difficult, but really, really have a go. Anyway, all the best and good luck, and have a wonderful weekend if this is your last video of the day. If you have more home learning, that's super too. Good luck and enjoy, and I'll see you all later. Bye bye.